Hello friends, welcome once again to our next video on Flutter. In this video we are going to see how we can convert our PSD file into Flutter application. As you can see here, we have our PSD file here, and then when you look at our emulator, we have this Flutter UI design that we are going to be achieving in this video. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe down. Just click that subscribe button in the corner, and then you can receive my daily updates on each video that I post. Okay, so in this video we are going to mainly focus on how we can convert our design into Flutter. If you have not, you don't know how to set up Flutter on your machine, check out my video above. You can click and then go and see how you can install and set up Flutter. In this video I'm going to use I will be using Android Studio as my editor to be able to create our application. And if you haven't set up or downloaded Android Studio, you can go to developer.android.com, and there you'll find Android SDK, which you will download on your PC. It's under 800 MBs. You can download and install Android Studio on your machine. If you're on Windows, you can select download options. If you're on Windows, you can select Windows. If you're on Mac, then you can download for Mac. Okay. Good. So that having said, we can see what we are going to be converting, and this is the design that we are going to be converting into this UI design that you see here. Okay, let's open Android Studio. So if you don't see this option, like start a new Flutter project, you can just simply go to configuration and then plugins. You go to market and just type in there Flutter and then click search. And this will bring you the Flutter plugin that you need to add into Android Studio for you to be able to have those options enabled. So you can go ahead and install that. So after you have finished, we can go ahead and start our new project, which will be Flutter, and then select Flutter application, click next. And here, if you don't have Flutter SDK installed on your machine, please check out my video, and here we'll have our name as PSD to Flutter tutorial. Okay, then our SDK, we get the path to our SDK that we downloaded. I've already downloaded it, so I select it and I click next. So this one will be our package name, com.psd to Flutter tutorials, and then click finish. So this will create us our project. Okay, now our project has been created. So if we can navigate to our project here, we can see that we have Android platform created for us, and also an iOS platform, and we have the lib folder This is the main folder that is going to contain all our pages that we will be creating, and it also is the one that contains our main.dat file, which acts as the starting point of any Flutter application, and it is located under a lib folder, which is this one. So when you double click on it, you see it opens here. Okay, briefly, let's look at just a few things here. Firstly, let's understand what is Flutter. Flutter is a framework that allows developers to create cross-platform applications using a single programming language. That is the main programming language of Flutter. So every Flutter application is written with that language. So if we are to create any application, we use that programming language. Okay. Another thing we need to know that applications in Flutter are built using widgets. Widgets are the main building blocks in Flutter. Flutter has two main widgets that we will be looking at in the course of the video. So one of them is a stateless widget and another is a stateful widget. So these are the main widgets that are used to develop a Flutter application, among others. Okay, stateless widgets are widgets that can only be drawn when another widget is loaded. We cannot redraw a stateless widget depending on any user action or event. And also another thing we have to know about stateless widgets are the widgets that have no internal state. So in our application we have this code which is a boilerplate for any Flutter application that is created, but for us we are going to delete all this code. So firstly we have to know that any Flutter application has to start with importing the main package, which is material design. This is the package that contains all these widgets that we have talked about, among other widgets that we'll be seeing in the course of the video. So before we start any Flutter application, we have to define the main package, which is material design, and we import it. So it will be package flutter material.dat package. And another thing we have to know that any Flutter application has the main function. The main function in Flutter is the entry point to the application, that calls the run app method, which inflates our screen with different widgets. So we can go ahead and say so after defining our main function, this is our main function, which is the entry point to our application. So this is our class that we define here. So after that we can define class. Here we will return a material app. So instead of creating another widget inside here, for us to make our code more neat, we need to create a different class for our home page. So instead of creating our home page inside here, we'll create another folder in here. So in this folder, we'll create a new .dat file, which we'll call homepage. As before, the same principles, we import our package material design, and in here we create our class. Save, and then let's import our home page here. Home page. So we come here and say new home page. Good. Save, and then let's run our application and see. Good, so this is our home page. Don't worry about the look, it's because we have not applied our scaffold, so that's why it looks like that. So we'll go ahead, instead of passing in directly our home here, we just say new then in the body field we pass in our home page. Save, and here we are. We have our home page which we have imported here. So instead of creating a home page inside here, we separated it and created a different a separate page file, which is this one, and then we imported it inside our main class. Okay, we are going to handle this step by step, and we'll start with the header. Then after the header, we'll go to the menus. So we are going to divide this one into two parts. So we'll start with this one, then we end up with this one. So that's how our workflow is going to be. So for us to get the size of the header, we can just go to info, just grab our marquee tool, rectangle marquee tool, then just draw here like this. Yeah, that is exactly, we have a height of 516. We'll go into our home page. Now inside here, we are going to eliminate the up bar here. So when we save, good, we don't have any up bar there. So we can come back here and then delete that. So we are going to implement a nested ScrollView class widget, which is going to enable us to be able to have a scrollable header and together with a list view. So for us to achieve that, we'll have to say new nested ScrollView, and we'll have a header here. So we'll start by defining the builder context. Should be inside here we'll implement a sliver up bar. It's also a new Flutter widget. Save and let's run our application. Okay, good. So we have our app bar. Okay, so when we check out our header, we see that we have this image here. So in order to grab this image, you will just have to select a Mackie rectangular tool, then just draw and get the height here. When you go to info, we see we have 51411 as our height. We go back to our, can even just go ahead and just get this by command. On Windows will be Control. You go on the header, then Control, and get the height of this image header, which will be 515. But for us in our application, we are going to use 415, which will be a little bit smaller. Which I've used here. Okay, so let's grab our image and insert it in there. So we just go to images, remove the style on the image, and also remove the clipping mask, and right click on the image layer and then say export as, so that we can export that image. And export this image as that. Okay, good. So we'll come here in our project directory and then create a new directory. We'll name it assets. So under here we'll just add another directory, another folder, which will be images. Good. So we go on our desktop and copy our image, come to our project and just paste our image there. Go in pub.yaml file, and then we have this image here. Paste it there and then click get to fetch the assets. Then after fetching, we copy the image URL back to our home page, and then inside here good. So we have our image right there. Okay, so we have to work on it according to our design. If we can put it back as it was, create mask, then put back our layer. So this image is centered into the application, but here it is off the the main view, the center view. So we can just fix that by going to align. We align this image. Okay, now we see here our image is centered. We have aligned it, bottom right, so that it is centered as we have it here in the design. So for us to be able to add this overlay gradient, we'll have to create to use a widget called stack. So I went ahead and created this widget, which is stack, and its first children was our image, and then we can go ahead and create another container here for our overlay gradient overlay. So say new container. So for us to convert hexadecimal or xcolor code into Flutter application, we have to add this code in front of our color if the color is solid color. But if it has transparency, we just have to add that like the xcolor code that we have. But since ours are solid colors, so we'll use that. Save, and let's check our application once more. Good, so we have our effect as it appears in our design. In this part of the video, we have completed our first stage of our application, which is creating our header, and in our next video we are going to be completing our UI design. So see you in our next video, and please don't forget to subscribe.